George,
What?
if you had 3 wishes, what would you wish?
I'd wish for 3 more of these.
Not very romantic, are you? I mean, don't you ever just, want to get up and go?
I would if I drunk 3 more of these, yeah.
Travel.
Oh, travel, yeah. I'd like to travel, yeah.
Where you want to travel to, then?
Well, I'll give you a clue.
Yeah.
What is big and warm and friendly?
Eh?
What is big and warm and friendly?
You a missus, you mean, or what?
Australia.
Australia. Oh, that's right. That would be nice. That really would be nice. Do you believe wishes come true, then?
No.
Worth a try, though, isn't it? George?
Sid, you still got 2 wishes left. Yeah. Better wish for a couple of surfboards.
Hey?
Cheers, mate. I'm afraid we're cornered, Corporal.
Yes, sir.
We should be lucky to get out of here alive.
Oh, later than that, sir, I shouldn't wonder.
What?
Later than 5, sir. Probably 5:30, sir.
I said lucky to get out alive, not to get out by 5.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. It's the gun, sir.
Yeah.
Guns, I can't hear you properly, sir, you see, with the guns.
I know.
Are we cut off from the others, sir?
Yes, I'm afraid we are. Yes. Listen, we can either lie low till morning, or you can climb to a high vantage point and see if you can spot the enemy. What do you say?
Thank you very much, sir.
No. What do you think of me?
Oh, well, it's up to you, sir.
I think you better get up a tree and risk it.
Oh, thank you. I could just do with one, sir.
One more.
A cup of tea and biscuits, sir.
I said get up a tree and risk it, man.
Sorry, sir, sorry.
Well, go on, make a start.
Make a tart, sir.
Make a start! Make a start! What's the matter with you? Do I have to repeat every stupid little word?
Well, no need to be personal, sir.
What?
Calling me that, what you did, sir?
I said stupid little word.
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry.
Well, go on, get on with it, Corporal.
Sir, I can't climb trees.
What?
I can't climb trees. Never could. Ever since I was a small boy at Wimbledon.
You never told me that.
What's that?
You were a ball boy at Wimbledon. I love tennis.
What, Dennis the cook, sir?
Tennis, man, tennis. Oh, never mind all that. Listen, up there on the ridge, there's a tank. Now, we've got to go up and recapture it, right?
Yes, sir.
But watch out for snipers. Anywhere near a tank is a hotspot.
Oh, I don't think we are, sir.
What?
Anywhere near a Lancashire hot pot, sir.
Hotspot, I said, hotspot. What's the matter with you? You're obsessed with food, man.
Sir?
Yes?
I can't go, sir.
What?
I can't go.
Why not?
My gun's gone wonky, sir.
Well, it's only natural. So is mine. It's nerves, that's all it is.
No, my gun, sir.
Oh, your gun. Oh, your
Yes.
gun. I'm sorry. What's the matter with your gun?
Well, sir, it was in my trouser pocket. It went off half cock, sir.
Yeah, you better see Matron when we get back to casualty about that. Yes. Well, I suppose I better go myself then.
Yes, all right,
There's
sir.
nothing for
Be
it.
careful out there because they're different. You all right, sir?
No, of course I'm not all right. I'm shot.
Well, it is hot, sir. We're
Shot!
Shall I get the stretcher bearer, sir?
No, it's too late for that. Just go and let me die in peace.
Yes, sir. Any gravy on it at all, sir? What? Any gravy on your pie and peas, sir?
I said, let me die in peace, not get me pie and peas. Oh, never mind, Corporal. You're not such a bad chap. We haven't always seen eye to eye, or ear to ear, for that matter.
It's the gun, sir.
But at least, if you get out of this mess alive, they'll say I died saving an ordinary man.
Save you what, sir?
An ordinary man.
Yes, sir, I will, sir.
You will what?
When I get back to the mess, I'll save you a strawberry flan, sir. Get juniper tree, lying in the yard with a belly full of watermelon. Don't pick cotton and I don't plant grass. Out in the open, sitting on a corn patch. Down in Louisiana where the corn is high, keep a jumping up and see the girls pass by. Down by the river where the bulrush grows, watch the girls swimming there without no hesitation. Get juniper tree, lying in the yard with a belly full of watermelon. Don't pick cotton and I don't plant grass. Out in the open, sitting on a corn patch.
Met Mary Ellen by the old barn door. I know just what she's a-waiting for. Up in the loft where the oil lamp flickers, I lost my heart and she lost her parasol. Up,
lying in the yard with a belly full of watermelon. Don't pick cotton and I don't plant grass. Out in the open, sitting in my corn patch. Kissed by the preacher's son. She said, now what you mean I'm gonna done? He said, I've been at the end of my wits ever since the night I grabbed you by the curtain. Lying in the yard with a belly full of watermelon. Don't pick cotton and I don't plant grass. Out in the open, sitting in my corn patch.
townsfolk come here, try to settle down. Pretty soon it's gonna be a great big town. They build their houses and the roads and then they all have to move to the country again.
Get juniper tree, lying in the yard with a belly full of watermelon. Don't pick cotton and I don't plant grass. Out in the open, sitting in my corn patch. Heat up the coffee, serve up the stew. Pull up a chair, cause we're neighbors, me and you. You take the golf clubs, I'll take the car. What's yours is mine, cause that's what neighbors are.
John and Joe were neighbors. They lived side by side. Joe, he was a bachelor. John, he had a bride. They borrowed from each other, just like neighbors do. Said Joe, why keep two lawnmowers when only one will do?
Heat up the coffee, serve up the stew. Pull up a chair, cause we're neighbors, me and you. You take the golf clubs, I'll take the car. What's yours is mine, cause that's what neighbors are. Young John drove home to Joe's house and returned his neighbor's car, then popped in through Joe's back door to borrow a good cigar. On the couch lay his own wife, Molly, with her cheeks so blushing red. She said, poor Joe's TV don't go, so he switched me on instead. Coffee, serve up the stew. Pull up a chair, cause we're neighbors, me and you. You take the golf clubs, I'll take the car. What's yours is mine, cause that's what neighbors are.
I wish we had a baby, said John to his wife one day, because neighbor Joe's got a baby carriage he wants to give away. So they both looked into the cabbage patch and they telephoned to Stork. But it never came, and it seemed a shame to take an empty pram for a walk.
John went away on a business trip and he spent a year at sea. When he came back, he found his wife with a baby on her knee. She said Joe brought it over one night as I lay asleep. The stork left twins at Joe's house, so he gave me one to keep. We serve up the stew. Pull up a chair, cause we're neighbors, me and you. You take the golf clubs, I'll take the car. What's yours is mine, cause that's what neighbors are.
That was jolly good, that was. Thanks very much. I really enjoyed that. a super game, isn't it? I don't know why I've never tried it before. But I can assure you, my dear chap, from now on, thanks to you, I shall be a dedicated squish player.
Squash.
Pardon?
Squash. The game is called squash.
Oh, yes, squash, that's right, yes. Tell me, who actually won? I wasn't quite sure about the sort of scoring technique of it. I mean, did I win?
You flake. You won. You won.
Oh, yes, I thought... And how many goals did I get?
Goals?
Yeah, well, thing is, you know, runs.
Points.
Points, yes. How many did I actually score? What was the score?
Look, the score was game love, game one, game love, game love. Yeah, you won by 4 games to love.
Oh, good, that's good. You mean I scored 4 and you scored love?
Yeah.
Ah, I see. And how many is love?
Love is nothing. You know.
Oh, I see. Oh, no, that's not right, no, because I remember distinctly you did get a point early on, didn't you? Yes.
Yes, only because you had...
Oh, I know. I was holding the thing by the wrong end, wasn't I? That's why I was trying to push it. Yes, I remember that, yes. Yes, I must remember you hold the bat by the thin end.
The racket.
The racket, yes, the racket.
This is a racket, you see what I mean?
Yes.
The game is called squash.
Yes.
We play it with a ball, and this is a plastic racket.
Will it work now you've done that?
Look, I don't care. Do you understand? I don't care. Because I'm not going to play squash anymore, ever. Do you understand?
Oh, I say, that's a bit sad, really, isn't it? I mean, I was hoping I was going to come back next week and see if I could do a bit better.
A bit better? A bit better? Look, matey, I am the secretary of this squash club. You understand that? You know, I am the captain of the team. You know, last year I won the singles final in squash. You know. I play for the state in squash, you know, the first team, you know what I mean? You know, I'm one of the best players around about here, to be honest. You know, I'm good. You know what I mean? Good. You know. You haven't played before, have you? You're vastly overweight. I mean, you know, you're lumbering about the court there. I mean, you've come on to that bloody court in your Grace Brothers suit. And you've thrashed me. You've pulverized me. Ground me into the dust in front of my friends. That's what I mean, in front of my friends. You humiliated me. How did you do it? How did you do it?
Beginner's luck?
It was a fluke, mate. A fluke, matey. Well, it won't happen again. It won't happen the next time, you understand?
Oh, you can't play again because you've broken your rocket.
Racket! Doesn't matter. I'll get a new one, you see? I'll get a new one. And I shall be back here tomorrow on this very court, challenging you 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, no, sorry, not tomorrow. No can do.
What do you mean, no can do?
Well, I've got to go up to a place called Lord's. There's 2 fellas called Gatting and Botham are teaching me to play cracket or something. What are you going to have?
That's very kind of you. I'll have a pint.
What do you want? Pint of light?
No, pint.
Pint of brown? What?
No,
pint of margarine, mate?
No.
Pint of bitter?
Pint of bitter, yeah.
Pint of bitter, John, would you? Pint of bitter. How are you? I haven't seen you up the factory lately. Well, you've been all sick, have you?
No, well, I packed it in, didn't I?
Oh, did you? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they wanted me to change my...
What, change your hours?
No, change my...
Change your habits, was it?
No.
Change your socks more often?
No. Change my duties.
Oh, your duties, did they? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to do that.
No.
It's a quite a cushy little number, you know. It was quite a good job.
Yes,
you know?
it was a lovely job. Thanks, John, thanks.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah,
all the best. Cheers.
Cheers.
I never really know what sort of job you did up there. What job did you do up there?
Well, the same job as I'd done for 20 years.
Oh, did you, yeah?
Yeah, I always worked with,
What, with pride?
No, with,
Within reason, did you?
No,
with your overcoat on.
I always worked with Harry Hawkins.
Oh, Harry Hawkins. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to, always work with him. He used to give me his,
His wholehearted support.
No, he used to give me his...
What, his athletic support?
No, he used to give me his ginger nuts.
Oh.
Yeah, he used to give me his ginger nuts, and I used to dip him in...
In his tea for him?
No, in the chocolate.
Oh, the chocolate. Oh, I see. That was the job, was it?
That was the job.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Harry and I made the only ginger nuts, with the chocolate on them.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and then somebody realised, or thought, a lady could do the job, a woman, you see. So they decided to do that, and they put me on...
Short time?
No, on...
shortcake?
No, on sherbet fountains.
Oh,
Now, that is a real messy job, the sherbet, because that sherbet gets everywhere.
Does it, yeah?
Yeah. You know, you go home and start stripping off, and you find you've got a coating of sherbet all over the...
All over the weekend?
Yeah. Yeah. And the wife don't like it.
No. Oh, well, that makes it worse, because you can't even...
No, exactly, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, this woman, she decided that she didn't want to work with Harry Hawkins.
Oh, did she? Oh, dear.
She didn't like the way he handled his...
His ginger nuts?
No, his machinery.
Oh, his machinery.
Yeah, she thought he was...
Was nuts?
No, she thought he was...
What, ginger?
No, incompetent.
Oh, incompetent. I see. So you went back with Harry then, did you?
No, I decided I had enough.
Oh, did you?
So I went back home, you know.
Yeah.
Then found the wife was up...
Up to her knees in sherbet?
No.
Up to her old tricks with the milkman?
No, she was up her mother's.
Oh, up her mother's.
So I then thought, I'm going to go to the job centre.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, go to the job centre, because if it's a good job you're after, that is the place to...
To steer clear of.
No, they're quite good, some of them, you know. My brother-in-law went for a job as a removal man, and within a week they'd already given him
a fortnight's holiday.
No.
What, his own set of tea chests?
No, a double hernia.
Oh, no. Yes.
So I went up to this job centre place.
Yeah.
And a very nice place.
Was it?
Enough,
Yeah.
And they got this girl there, sitting behind a sort of grill.
Oh, yeah, grill, yeah.
And she's filing her...
Filing her nails?
No, filing her...
What, filing the bars, trying to get out, was she?
No, filing her jobs.
Oh, filing the jobs, yeah.
In the portfolio,
Oh, I
see?
see, yeah.
And she's very nice, very big girl.
Oh, big girl, she, yeah.
And she's got these two...
Yes, I get the picture, yes.
Either side.
Well, they would be, wouldn't they?
And I mentioned the job, and they sprang up.
Did they? Yeah. What caused that then,
Well, I don't know, the general excitement, I suppose.
Oh, really?
And then they came towards me.
Did they really?
Yeah. Anyway, these two...
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. Yeah. These two... What do you call them again?
We call
clerks.
Oh. I've got the wrong picture entirely there, you know.
No, these two clerks, they said that this girl was a trainee.
Oh, yes, I see.
Trainee, basically, who had just got off the...
Off the train?
No, off the course.
Oh, off the course, of course, yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And the two clerks, fellows, Dad mentioned to tell you about before, they said, if it's a job you're after, we have a vacancy.
Oh.
Yeah, because we're looking for someone with short...
Short legs?
No. No, with short...
Short shirts?
No, with short...
Shortcomings?
Yeah, no. With shorthand and typing.
Oh, I see,
They wanted someone with shorthand because they were...
Short-handed?
No. They were understaffed at the town hall.
Oh, yes, I see. So you never got the job?
Didn't get the job, can't do it.
So you're out of work, you know?
No, not entirely, no, because there was another job, another vacancy which I accepted.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm working in the sweet...
in the sweet factory, you know?
No. In the city job. In the sweet...
Well, with the sweet smell of success, is it?
Well, hardly. I'm in charge of the gents at Central Station.
Good evening. I'm a health freak. That was just a little joke. Now here's a big joke. Now, personal fitness. Are we, as a nation, neglecting our health? Did you know that last year, 100% of all deaths were caused by people not being very well? The fact is, we simply don't get enough exercise. Now, how about a grueling 75-mile hike across the moors? Personally, I like nothing better. So every Saturday morning, that's exactly what I do. Nothing. Now, here is a letter from a viewer in Woollahra who writes, "How can I get a body like Jane Fonda's? Well, Mr. Dinsley, you won't get it overnight. Certainly not with Jane Fonda, you won't, anyway. But now here is something to exercise your stomach muscles. There we are. A Channel 9 cheese and chutney sandwich. That reminds me, I must clean out the budgie cage when I get home. Next, we come to weight training. Stay. There you are, you see, perfectly trained. And it only took me 3 weeks. Of course, it hasn't been house-trained yet, but that takes a little longer. Another good way to exercise is by trampolining. Now, if you can't afford a trampoline of your own, you can always use bottles of scotch. Just drink 3 bottles of scotch and watch the room go up and down. Now, exercise, of course, can work wonders. A friend of mine who's a famous rugby player and renowned for his magnificent tackle has tuned his body to such a peak of fitness. The other day, he swam to Wollongong in under 4 hours from Canberra. So if you want to find out how to lose 11 pounds in 1 week, just write off now for my special booklet, enclosing 11 pounds. Remember, too much exercise can bring problems. A few weeks ago, my secretary, Miss Tumbleturn, went jogging topless and came back with 2 black eyes. So remember, always take along a heavy sweater, such as Billy J. Smith. Dieting. Dieting. Here we have the Amateur Photographer magazine's Slimmer of the Year. She is Mrs. Edna Titheridge of Engadine. This is what she was like a year ago. Gross, overweight, and a thriving darts champion. After only 12 months on a diet of prune juice, rhododendron yogurt, and starch-reduced wheat bread, she became a new woman. Miss Cindy Golightly, an 18-year-old dental receptionist. And this is what happened to her 25-year-old husband over the same period. So, oh dear, he's fainting. So, how can we cut down on calories in our food? Well, one simple tip is to put a brick in your steak and kidney pie. Railway refreshment rooms have been doing this for years. And try to cut down on fats. Here is a plate of ordinary fish fingers with the batter removed. No, I'm sorry, that is the new cholesterol-free cheese omelette. Another tip, in future, try cooking your fried eggs in sunflower oil. It works wonders. Here we are. There's one there. Now, over here is my assistant, Miss Willits, with the recommended breakfast for slimmers. 1 glass of fruit juice, 1 ounce of cottage cheese, and 2 crackers. Breakfast in bed can be fun. So, which are the foods that are bad for you? Well, the simple answer is all of them. All food is extremely harmful, and the only way to stay really healthy is not to eat anything at all. Or the FA plan diet, as we call it. A 27-stone neighbour of mine has been on this diet now for 2 weeks, and yesterday I asked him how he found it, to which he replied, with a mirror on a stick. He was in a bad mood because he'd just shaved off some unwanted hair around his navel and got booked for having a bald spare tire. But of course, some foods are much worse for you than others. A report out today shows that pork sausages can be a considerable health hazard, particularly for pigs. And babies, well, the healthiest food for babies is, of course, mother's own milk. But even there, new safety regulations will soon be coming into force, and as from January the 1st, all mothers will have to be filter-tipped. So finally, to sum up, take more fibre and more exercise and start every morning like I do, with 3 plates of all bran and a quick 100-metre dash. Good health. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ronnies.
I see the sign that points one way, the lot we used to pass by every day. Just walk away, Renee, you won't see me follow you back home. The empty sign won't somehow drop, I'm not the same. You're not to blame. From deep inside the tears are forced to cry, from deep inside the pain that I choose to hide. Just walk away, Renee, you won't see me follow you back home. Now as the rain comes down upon my weary eyes, for me a your name and mine inside a heart on a wall still finds a way to haunt me, no dare so small. Just walk away, Renee, you won't see me follow you back home. The empty sign won't somehow drop, I'm not the same. You're not to blame.
Tonight, I am a little bit excited because I have reason to believe that my new Channel 9 pay rise has just come through. To be honest, my last pay rise was nearly 6 years ago when I stormed into the program controller's office and demanded that they pay me what I was worth. $42 a week doesn't go very far. No, my God, it is pathetic. $42 a week when you consider that the producer upstairs is earning nearly twice that. So this week, I took a militant stand and put in a claim for a 5% increase, and it's obviously shaken them up a bit because I have just had this top-level memo delivered to me personally. Actually, it's still a bit crumpled, you know. Still a bit crumpled from where it was wrapped round the brick. But let's see what it says here. From the president of Channel 9 to Mr. Robbie Cornett. You see, right from the top. At last, I'm about to be treated with a little respect and deference, as befits a man of my professional status. What is your game, Squibface? 5% pay rise, I should Coco Titchy. Call yourself a comic? We could train a chimp to do what you do. If you're a comic, I'll walk to Perth with a leaky water bag. That's how I treat letters like that. Particularly if they don't get laughs. Now, on to tonight's story, which I have decided to tell as a mark of respect to my old Uncle Brutus, who is one of the great characters of show business. For 25 years, his widow, Twanky, was a legend throughout Parramatta. But sadly, no more. I'm afraid he has finally been summoned to that great pantomime in the sky. He's gone to work for Qantas. No, No, he hasn't. That would be ridiculous. He is actually dead. Now, to be honest, he was rather a comical-looking character with a very flat face and an incredibly big pointed nose. And when they died, they used his head as a sundial. It's very interesting because his late brother, my late Uncle Horace, that was also in pantomime. He spent 40 years playing Humpty Dumpty. And I remember his cremation was held up for nearly half an hour while someone went to fetch an egg timer. I've got a strange uncle. I had an uncle Gladys once, who had a nasty accident in a sawmill. And he was a world record holder. He was the only man who'd ever slid down Mount Everest on a tin tray. And they buried him where he came to rest. Just outside Rooty Hill. When I think of it, it's been quite a bad year for bad news, all told. I mean, last Sunday morning, for instance, there we were all at home, taking things easy. My little nephew was sitting on the carpet, playing with his Tonka. And my wife was upstairs in our daughter's playroom trying to smoke an encyclopedia salesman out of the doll's house. It was a very, very cold morning. I remember, very cold. We had to kick-start the Rice Krispies. And I just settled down after breakfast with the Sunday newspaper. Or was it the Telegraph? Anyway, and I was reading one of their thrusting, in-depth theological dissertations about a vicar who was caught on the church roof with an Avon lady. Ding-dong merrily on high. Suddenly, we heard that the chap next door had just been rushed to hospital. It's all very tragic because he was a businessman who was very big in kitchen equipment. Until his accident, he fell on top of a Kenwood blender and liquidated his assets. But I digress. On with this story. Now, this story concerns a little old lady who, by coincidence, has also just lost her husband. And she decides that for some companionship, she will buy herself a dog. You know, we all like pets. And I remember when I was a boy, we were so poor, we used to have very cheap pets. You know. For my 7th birthday, my parents bought me a semi-detached tortoise. My father couldn't afford a homing pigeon, so he had a budgie on elastic. So this old lady goes down to her local pet shop. And the assistant behind the counter says, "I have got the ideal companion for you." He said, "Madam," he said, "a nice little puppy, only 6 months old." So she looks at it, she says, "Yes, that's very nice." She said, very nice. She said, "Do you think it will replace my husband?" I mean, you know, that my husband was warm, he was affectionate, and he was always doing little jobs around the house. In that case, this is definitely the dog for you. I did try to say that quickly. Anyway, she said, "Well, I'll tell you what. If the dog doesn't mind, I'll take it." So they asked the dog, and the dog said, "Yes, that's absolutely fine." And off they go. There you are. You see a talking dog. Already the joke has got novelty value. That's about all it has got, but anyway. Now, to cut a long story short, the lady becomes devoted to this dog, and every afternoon at tea time, regular as clockwork, she takes him for a walk down to the newsagents for her evening paper. Well, one day, many years later, her legs are getting a bit crotchety, so she calls the dog in and she says, "Now listen, Tiddles." I don't think her eyes were too good either, anyway. "Listen, Tiddles, if I give you the money, do you think you could go down and get my evening paper tonight on your own?" And the dog says, "Yes, I could do that, no bother." And I just made that bit up. Anyway, could you carry? Thank you. He was actually a very intelligent and perceptive animal. During the last election, Barry Unsworth came round to the house canvassing. And the dog made such a brilliant job of conducting its own defense, the judge ordered Mr. Unsworth to be destroyed. So she gives it, oh my God. So she gives him the money for the newspaper. She says, "Now, you're sure you don't mind?" And the dog says, "No, I don't mind at all." Because he's got the money in his mouth by this time. And he waddles off down the road. Well, 4 hours go by, and there's no sign of him. My God, she thinks, perhaps he's been kidnapped. Or perhaps she's got tangled up in a toilet roll somewhere. Oh, well, it happens. Anyway, so she throws on her hat and coat, and she begins combing the streets, and eventually, just as she's passing a dingy little alleyway, she hears this scuffling noise. And there, to her horror, is her little dog with a little lady dog, as it were. You know, having a good time amongst the dustbins, you see. So, well, she grabs a nearby bucket of water, throws it over them, and then drags the dog to one side. She said, well, she said, really, I've never seen you do that before. And the dog looks up and said, well, I've never had the money before. Tom, you got new trousers, you know. You're beginning to look shabby.
These trousers were made to measure. But the bloke didn't pick them up, so I had them.
You've worn those trousers ever since I knew you.
I know I have. These are my wedding trousers.
Oh, you was married and all, was you?
Yes, I was, yeah. My wife was like the ocean. She was wild and restless, and she made me sick. Yeah. Having kids with her was like waiting for a bus. Nothing happened for ages, then three come along all at once. Yeah. They're all grown up now.
What were they?
One of each.
Eh?
A boy, a girl, and an hairdresser.
I say, Humphrey.
What is it, Godfrey?
You know, no matter how hot the day is, at night it gets dark.
Yes, it's the same in America.
Just come back, haven't you? Did you go for pleasure, or did the wife go with you?
Very, very grand hotel.
Really?
Yes, so grand that even the guests have to use the service entrance.
That is grand.
Funny people, the Americans, though. On the plane going over, a woman collapsed. Doctor, sitting one side of her, refused to help. Said he was on holiday.
Oh, amazing.
Chap sitting the other side of her said, that is disgraceful. The doctor said, would you carry on your profession if you were on holidays? I certainly would, said the other chap. All right, what is your profession? He said, I'm a fishmonger, said the other chap. And he picked the woman up, loosened her clothing, and sold her 2 pounds of haddock.
This dust cart's in a terrible state.
Out in the street, you'll find us morning, noon and tea time on our beat, sweeping up the bits of litter around your feet, to keep the highways and the byways nice and neat. Let me repeat, out in the street, you'll find us out there in the cold or in the heat.
It is our duty to perform and to complete.
The sort of work that can be hardly called a treat. Not very sweet. Just after
Doing our jobs like other.
you find us out there in the cold or in the heat.
Putting up with all
It is our duty to perform and to
from the forces.
It is our painful duty to complete the sort of work that's not a treat.
Somebody has to do
Somebody
it.
has to
Somebody has to do
Somebody
it.
has to
Nobody wants a mucky job, but someone must go through it. Somebody's got to lift it, shovel it up and shift it. Squeeze it and scrape it, squash it and shape it, kick it around and try to get rid of it, keeping it nice and tidy. So long as we're paid on Friday, what's the point in making a lot of fuss?
No, we may all poo-poo it,
Somebody has to do it.
and somebody's decided that it's us. It ain't much fun. It is the sort of work a lot of people shun.
But then it can't be said that we're the only one. There are a lot of other jobs that must be done that ain't much fun.
Now take the Queen. Although the work she has to do is nice and clean, it must be tiring being on the public scene.
And looking fresh as paint no matter where she's been.
And still serene.
It may look just like a game. All that glamour, all that fame may be so, but just the same, rather her than me.
Somebody has to do
Somebody
it.
has to.
Somebody has to do
Somebody
it.
has to.
Nobody wants to be the Queen, but someone must go through it.
Opening public functions, banquets and balls and luncheons.
Ruling the land and waving her hand and changing the guards and dripping the colour and planning the royal wedding.
Putting an extra bed in
case the Prince of Fergie come to stay.
Training a derby winner.
Getting the Duke his dinner
And rolling umpty million every day.
Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it. Nobody wants a monkey job, but somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody got to do it. It's making it straight, but doesn't it just be done around and try to get in and try to get nice and deep in it. As long as we pay them not to leave. What a point to play the game. Somebody has to do it. And somebody's deciding. And somebody's deciding. Somebody's decided that it's
Somebody has to do it.
and that's us.
Thank you. That's all we have time for this week. Next week, I'll be talking to a very public-spirited man who plans to leave his kidneys to St. Thomas's, his liver to St. Fried's Wides, and his chips to McDonald's.
And we'll have a special report on Turville Dinge, the celebrated budgerigar impressionist who died last week. A few friends attended a private ceremony at which he was flushed down the lavatory.
We'll be looking into the new 3-cup brassiere and wondering if it has a 2-to-1 chance of catching on.
And we'll be talking to a woman who's just sold her brass bedstead because she's not on squeaking terms with her husband.
So until then, it's good night from me.
And it's good day from him.
Good day.